Oh, okay. Uh, Wait a minute. So,
Doozy of a day.
doozy of a
Doozy
day.
of a day.
I still think yesterday was harder. Personally, I think yesterday was harder.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, it was. It was a lot harder. Just like the night was, ugh. So, fun story. Kai fell off the bed right after.
Ollie fell in the shower within moments. That's true. Um,
I mean, he's fine. It was like both of them are fine. They're both fine. We're laughing, obviously. They're
mm-hmm.
fine. And our bed isn't that high off the ground, and so Kai is is fine. He landed on
Yeah,
his chest. I don't know the implications of that. Ollie actually also fell off the bed
that
with
one was on
Jesse.
me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna keep talking. Sorry.
No, when he was roughly the same age as Kai.
Yeah. Yeah, about the same age that he had just started crawling and rolling, and he was, uh, that bed was taller, is what I was gonna say.
That bed is taller.
But he landed in a pile of like soft stuff. But he landed like face down into it, and I think he like might have hit something slightly harder before hitting that. So Ollie cried for a long time after falling.
Yeah, he
Kai
did.
stopped crying like immediately.
Yeah, he
But
did.
I think like Kai has been on the floor so much today crawling around that just being in your arms was
Maybe that's
like,
so sad. It's
yeah.
not what you think at all. Like,
Yeah. Well,
it,
that kind of brings us to like the two topics we're talking about today are
yes.
our experiences with having one kid versus having two kids, and the second topic being that we just finished getting the second round of COVID vaccines and our experience getting those and having children. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, we had one kid, obviously, and it was very hard.
Yeah.
It
I'm
was
sure at the time it felt harder than this.
but like, it was a very steep learning curve, but obviously we survived and the kid survived. And, but like having the second kid, it's just so much that the parents go through,
Mhm.
but also like Ollie.
And the kid
Um,
that kids go through.
yeah, like we didn't even, I didn't even think about it. I just thought, they're gonna play together, and I don't know why. I didn't even think of like how long 6 months is, a year is. Like Kai is barely starting to army crawl. Like he's definitely not crawling. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
army crawling it, and that's taken like a huge toll. Like him being so small is taking such a huge toll on Ollie. Like I feel that I hadn't even thought of,
Mm-hmm.
because I just was like thinking ahead and thinking
Yeah.
like of the years when they're gonna like be playing together. And I know those years are coming, but in the meantime, like, okay, so what? Obviously, like everyone talks about terrible twos and everything, and Ollie's already two, and we've been having quite a few more, not tantrums. He's not really a tantrumy kind of kid, but more.
like I don't say this as in like we're training them, but like obedience issues, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like just like intentionally not following rules or like turning his listening ears all the way off. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and
things like
I
that.
thought that it was just like normal pushing boundaries and everything, testing boundaries and seeing like what the limits are. Like I really thought that it was like normal like just growing up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then like, okay, so Ollie decided, as you know, to go visit my parents for 3 days just like on his own. So anyway, that went fine. He was fine and he was happy to see us and it was great. But then I think it was like on Friday, I think is when it happened. But like, oh my goodness, Ollie just like he broke our hearts completely because so we had like a beautiful day. Like Friday was a beautiful day, and then we were at home, and we were just he was making dinner, and I was
Mm-hmm.
feeding Kai, I think. And then anyway, like I was done with Kai, and Ollie started to really become energetic, way energetic,
Yeah.
like crazy energy,
Oh
like
my gosh.
unsafe in the kitchen. So I put Kai on the floor because he was gonna be fine. And honestly, if he wasn't, like Ollie needed my attention then and there. And so I picked Ollie up, sort of dragged him all the way to the chair because he just was like really and then we calmed down, like we listened to each other's heartbeats, and we like took deep breaths and everything. And I was like, I don't even know like how we got to this moment where I asked him, I said, Ollie, do you feel like we don't spend a lot of time with you? And he just like got really sad and he like shrunk into himself and he said, you guys are just so busy. And it was like, and he was like, you guys are so busy all the time. And it was like,
Hmm.
ouch, ouch. And I was heartbroken when he said that. And I think you were too. It was just like a, oh my gosh, it was like a slap in the face, a dunk, your whole body in ice water kind of feeling.
Well, because like kids only have such a limited vocabulary, and I think sometimes as parents, you can feel things and put feelings into a child's mouth, but like ultimately, like what it felt like he was saying was like, yeah, like you guys like never play with me. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I wanted to go to my grandparents' house because all they do is play with me and they actually give me like the
The time of
time
day.
that I need. And like we kind of went through and like I don't know all the science behind it or like psychologically like how valid it is, but like we kind of went through some of the like love languages things and like when we were looking through the questions and thinking of like how Ollie is like referencing those questions, like he's definitely like his love language through that system is like time.
Yeah,
Like
quality
it's
time.
quality time, like it's not necessarily like touch or other attentions like he needs quality time to feel like you love him and to feel like you care.
And it's not like we didn't give him any time,
No,
but
no,
I feel
like
like we just didn't give him like the time that he needed. Even if
mhm.
like he does need like a lot of attention, he likes it. He likes being with us, which I mean is beautiful.
Yeah,
It's a
and
beautiful
he
thing.
loves like acting and like bringing us into his imagination. And I
Mhm.
think a lot of times it's easy for us because we have dishes and laundry and cleaning and work and this
Mhm.
podcast and friends and getting ready for bed and making sure that all of them like have everything they need like physically and like at a basic human level. That like it's easy for us to be like, okay, like you're putting Kai to sleep. I can like give him some food and like go do other things while he's eating because he is also really independent. So it's
Mhm.
like it's like between and if you were with us for our last podcast, like he like even though we've encouraged it from the very beginning, he doesn't show his emotions like like consistently. He's independent, but he's also like needs a lot of time. So like it's really easy to neglect that second one knowing that he like doesn't show his emotions and is very independent and will go off and be by himself even if he might want to be with you because like logically he's also like he also knows that you're busy for a reason
Mhm.
but like like I can also see like eventually you're like as a kid you're gonna think well yeah you're doing those things but that also means I come second so yeah that was really hard
That was
when that happened
sorry. Like we're eating our feelings.
yeah. Yeah, we just put the kids to bed. So, I mean, I shoved food in my face beforehand, but one of them, speaking of like this doesn't just apply to one kid versus two kids, but one of the most cliche things as a parent that I hear all the time in regards to everything parenting is it doesn't get easier. It's just like a different hard. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and I don't want to say that, but that kind of feels like what one versus two is. I mean, like normally I hear it in reference to age. Like it doesn't get easier. It's just a different kind of hard.
I said that last time. I
You
talked
did?
about that a little
Oh,
bit last
yeah.
time.
But
Yeah.
like I think for age that's BS. Like there is nothing harder than being completely sleep deprived and trying to be a functioning adult. I don't care what happens. Well, okay, like not nothing. Like that was an exaggeration. Obviously, like it like especially with children that develop like long-term chronic illnesses. But with like one versus two kids, I do feel like it definitely is that way.